10 years into the future, and the X-Men may have already lost the battle to save mutant kind from the threat of Orchis. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Rise of the Powers of X, issue number 1, and find out together, shall we? Alrighty then, so in Fall of the House of X, we saw the mutants return from exile and mount an all-out attack against Orchis. How did that go? Well, judging by this issue, not very good. We're 10 years in the future and pretty much all mutants are dead. Omega Sentinel and Nimrod, the true secret powers behind Orchis, are gloating, saying that this was actually a much easier fight than they ever anticipated, and that the mutants that they didn't manage to kill with their own hands will almost certainly be killed or turned in by the few surviving members of humanity just to try and prolong their own insignificant lives a little longer. God damn it, humanity, we really gotta up our game. Because of course this was always Omega Sentinel's plan ever since she was sent back in time from a future wherein mutants actually did manage to overcome Machine. And now that the mutant threat has been dealt with, Omega Sentinel and Nimrod are ready to enter the final stages of their plan. Join the all-great, all-powerful Machine Dominion and live forever outside of time and space. Of course, the few X-Men who are still alive refuse to go down without a fight. We see Gambit and Mystique heroically stage one last grand suicide mission to try and steal an important piece of information from inside an Orchis data center. Why are they so willing to kill themselves right now? Well, it seems that 10 years in the future, Mystique has lost Irene and Gambit has lost Rogue. Kind of funny and also pretty sad that these two characters only really managed to come together after losing absolutely everything they love, am I right? Now, what was so important about this information? Well, as we learn from the Professor, aka what Sync has become in this far future, ravaging his own body and mind to try and channel Professor X as best as possible, Orchis has been keeping a prisoner that the X-Men think might very well be their best final hope in toppling the evil Orchis organization and saving their entire race. But who are the X-Men of this dark future? Well, I'm so glad you asked. We have AI Iron Man, who is exactly what it sounds like, Shadow Tiger, who is Shadow Cat after eating a death seed, Captain Krakoa, Kamala Khan, the last of the great Krakoan captains, and Wolverine, because I mean Wolverine always manages to make it to these dark future parties, doesn't he? Well, the mutants ready one last great prison break, the machines ready their final work as well, completion of the great computer brain made possible with all the information that Omega Sentinel brought back from her future. The computer brain, they hope, will be enough to show the great Dominion that they are worthy of being absorbed into it. Though, in a very fun and funny twist, we discover that the machines of Orchis are still playing coy with the post-human members of the group like Dr. Stasis. Again, remember, the machines totally see Stasis and the other more human members of Orchis as disposable, just tools to be used to get them to the ultimate final battle between machine and mutant. At first, it seems like Dr. Stasis might be stupid and all this time later hasn't actually picked up on any of this, even after the mysterious murder of Fei Long, but no, he actually goes out of his way to rally the other post-human members of the Orchis organization, including the mysterious daughter of Dr. Doom, as well as the Children of the Vault. Oh yeah, I always forget about them. Basically, the way Stasis and the others feel, if they don't get invited to the machine's big Dominion party, then they're just going to ruin it for everyone. Aw yeah, what's left of humanity being the ultimate spoiler race. Hell yeah, we can do better. Now, as had been foreshadowed in multiple different stories leading up to this, the Machine Dominion is going to enter this world via the sun. This is why Dr. Stasis and his cadre have decided to weaponize and create an entire artificial black hole that they're going to shoot into the sun. This will kill the Dominion and also pretty much make all this war and bloodshed absolutely useless. But hey, Sinister's gonna sinister, right? This means the X-Men have to fight against the clock as well as the Sentinels to try and rescue this mysterious prisoner. We also see the return of Evan, Kid Apocalypse, who is not a kid anymore. I feel like this is a character people have been chomping at the bit to see return, and well, here you go, everyone. You got exactly what you wanted. Now, who could be so important that Orchis would spend all this time and resources to lock them away instead of just killing them? Well, it turns out the mystery prisoner is actually none other than the original Red Diamond Mr. Sinister, who I guess in the last intervening 10 years either managed to reconstitute a new body or got himself out from under the Krakoan pits. It seems that Orchis feared the original Mr. Sinister because they thought in his great paranoia he must have created some sort of failsafe to fight off the Dominion, and indeed he did. Only, get this, it's a failsafe that can only be activated once he's killed. Luckily, it's Wolverine who found him, and well, he's the best at what he does, and what he does isn't very nice. It's after this, several huge things all happen at once. The black hole bomb manages to destroy the machine dominion, Dr. Stasis kills the children of the Vault and uses their collective power to try and ascend and become a dominion himself, only he gets beaten to the punch by Enigma. Enigma you'll remember from the end of the IMMORTAL X-MEN book. Enigma is actually the ultimate AI construct created from information gathered from all of the different Sinister clones that have been running around in this era of X-Men. Basically, Enigma has been lying in wait, letting Stasis, Sinister, Mother Righteous, and Orchis do its work for it so it could finally swoop on in and become a god at the last minute. And you're probably thinking to yourself, "Ah, damn, everyone is so boned right now. How are they possibly going to get out of this one?" Well, it's here the book really ends up pulling out the rug from under you as they step back to reveal that everything we've actually been seeing in this issue is just another timeline experiment, this time being conducted by Professor X, Rasputin 4, and Doug back on Krakoa. Meaning that the events of this issue are seemingly actually running concurrently with the events of Fall of the House of X. The good guys have to hurry and try and figure out a course of action that won't end in all of them being destroyed. And while they've managed to run 9 different tests where they stop Dr. Stasis from becoming a Dominion, they just can't seem to deal with this Enigma problem. And they're quickly running out of time. The future is going to get here any minute now unless they do something. It's here with his back against the wall and the situation more desperate than it's ever been. Xavier suggests the absolutely unthinkable. Perhaps the only way to save Krakoa and its mutant citizens is actually to make sure that Krakoa never happened. Go back in time and kill Moira McTaggart before she can ever actually end up developing her Groundhog Day style powers. And believe it or not, it's on that note right there the comic comes to the end, everybody. And so that was Rise of the Powers of X issue number 1. And man, whatever I thought this book was going to be, it ended up being something completely different in a good way. I actually really appreciate Gillen going, hey, you know what? The events of Sins of Sinister, very important. Don't think just because it happened in an Age of Apocalypse style alternate timeline, I wasn't going to use it as the catalyst for the big finale for this era of X-Men. Likewise, Enigma, I like that it's this big, evil, omnipotent ticking time bomb that's gonna go off any minute now and screw over absolutely everyone, be they X-Men or Orchis. Also, while I'm sure we could talk a lot about how awkward Moira McTaggart's integration into this greater Krakoa era of stories has been since Hickman left and since the end of Inferno, I'd be lying if I said I didn't appreciate that all of this started with her getting powers and it looks like all of this is going to end with her and her powers. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one an 8 out of 10. This one certainly seems to be a lot more big-brained and big concept a book, especially when we compare it to the much more straightforward and cathartic feeling Fall of the House of X. Here's hoping they can square all the remaining circles and actually end in a satisfying way. If so, I think we'll have concluded probably one of the best, most influential eras of X-Men gods in years. Overall, I would give this one a very comfortable, very enthusiastic 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.